Hello folks, Pipe Man 1861 here. Well, got myself a haircut on Saturday and my head's about 5 pounds lighter. Feels pretty good. I am down in the workshop finally putting the last touches on the giveaway pipe. Happy Meershaum Monday to you all. Smoking some Lane 1Q. I hadn't smoked that in a long time out of the Codger Challenge pipe. Or rather, the pipe I won in the Codger Challenge. Thank you. Had a good day today. Everything went pretty smooth. It's pretty wet. Middle of the day. And then it brightened up nicely. It's funny, I need to give credit where credit's due on this video. Jess Piping is coming out with a series on his pipes, showcasing them, you know. And so I figured that's a pretty good idea. So this is going to be my first My Pipes episode, and we're going to concentrate on something easy this time. So I'm going to show you all my Meershaum pipes, which is going to be fairly quick and easy. But thank you, Just Piping, for the good idea. I've actually meant to do that for quite a long time. People have asked me to, and I've never gotten around to it. I figured it was about time. So, of course, the first and my personal favorite Meershaum pipe, to smoke at least, is my MBSD Meershaum. I would call that almost an egg. Really pretty acrylic stem on that, and it has the briar band there, which it allows the tenon to actually go into the briar like a regular briar pipe, so you don't have to mess with the push tenon or the screw tenons on that. The rim's coloring nicely on this pipe. Of course, that's the first part, the colors on these. Smokes beautifully. And like I said, this is going to be a quick one because I only have, let me see, I'm not counting my calabashes because neither of those are fixed up yet. But I only have 4 Meershaum pipes, and one of them is pressed. So let me reach over here real quick. I'll get you the second one. Second, and now all of these have been shown. You've seen these at one time or another in videos. This is all my other Meershaum pipes are antique, all right, or old. This is my second Meershaum pipe. It's a cutty. See, it has a little knob on the bottom there. Look at the coloring on that. This is probably about 1900 to 1910. Could be 1920s, I guess, but probably 1900 to 1910. And that thing has been smoked. It has been smoked impressively. It has a vulcanite stem with the aurific bit there. It has a bone screw tenon hold the stem in place right there. And this tenon is actually cemented into the shank of the pipe, unlike most of these where they were cemented into the stem. This particular one is cemented into the actual shank of the pipe, so that's a little bit different than what you usually see. I bought this on eBay. It actually came from England. I suspect it's a French pipe. You see this little white spot there at the heel? Well, I was cleaning this thing, and this particular one was so clogged up, I had to take a drill bit and by my fingers carefully turn it down the shank to get the tar out. Well, the way this pipe is drilled, there's a hole straight through here, and then they drill another hole at an angle and meet up with this one right here because this is so thin. Well, I went a little bit too hard, and I drilled right through the bottom of the bowl. And you can see where it happened. Well, I started reading about maybe how to fix it, and there was an old method that I read about. Mix powdered chalk with egg white. Mix it together and you can fill the hole in. It's heat resistant considerably, completely food safe, and it will blend fairly well. And it does look pretty good. You really don't notice that unless I point it out, which I just did. But yeah, that's that little spot right there is where I filled that hole in that I inadvertently made. But this is a really nice pipe. It's actually, I have noticed this pipe is rather difficult to keep lit. And I think it's just because of how deep the bowl is. I could be wrong. Certain tobaccos are easy to keep lit in it, but of course certain tobaccos are easy to keep lit in anything. But that's my second Meerschaum pipe. An antique, you know. Now my third Meerschaum pipe I'll show you. Let me see, get this down, where to put that box. You can tell that I'm just very, very thoroughly prepared for this, you know. There it is. My third Meerschaum pipe, this is one that I actually use more for Civil War, my Civil War reenacting than anything else. I suspect this one was made in the 1920s or maybe 1930s. It could have been later. But it was this big old fella. Okay? Now this was very much a mid-19th century style of pipe. This is what you see. You see a lot of these similar shapes in original photographs from the Civil War. This is pressed Meerschaum, all right? Now this right here and the previous one I showed you, these are block Meerschaum. You know, they dug a big chunk of the Meerschaum mineral out of the ground, and they just carved the block, you know. Well, when they get finished with the carving, as one does, they end up with a bunch of little pieces. Well, they grind those pieces up, they mix them in with some sort of a bonding agent, glue or resin or something. They make a kind of a putty or cement out of it, and then they press it into a mold, and that's pressed Meerschaum, which is still, if it's quality pressed Meerschaum, and there is such a thing as that, at least there used to be, it actually smokes very well. It's not near as absorbent as block Meerschaum, but it does smoke well. And this is quality pressed Meerschaum. You can see there's a dog on it running there. Here's a date, 1806. This is a commemorative pipe of some sort, probably made in Austria. Has a cherry wood stem, cow horn mouthpiece. See there? And the stem simply, there's cork in there, and the stem is just turned down on the lathe, and it fits into the shank there friction tight. when I was restoring this pipe, this mouthpiece screws into this nickel part. The nickel part's horn too. I was screwing it in, I screwed it too tight and I cracked it. So I put this nickel band on here to repair it, and it's been fine ever since and always will be. But so that was not originally nickel, that was originally black horn. And this pipe is absolutely massive. The bowl, you can't see it down in there, I don't think, but it goes at least up to my first knuckle there. At least an inch in diameter. That's a great big bowl. Nice long smoke out of this pipe, and a long stem. The cherry wood acts as a filter. It's a very pleasant smoking pipe. I really like it. So that's my pressed Meerschaum pipe. But one I very, very much like. I haven't smoked that one for a while. I'll have to do that. And I'm going to pause this video for a moment because I just remembered my fourth Meerschaum pipe is upstairs. So I'll be right back. Sorry about that, folks. So this is my fourth Meerschaum pipe. This was also, oh, and I forgot to mention that last pipe, the big cherry wood stem pipe. That was also an eBay purchase. All three of these were eBay purchases. That one was from the United States, though. It did not import that, so to speak. And then this one was actually one of my very first eBay pipe purchases. I actually got this one, I believe it was from the Netherlands. And like I say, I have showed you all these off and on, but never all together. So we'll just condense all of this down into one video. My last Meerschaum which I've also used for Civil War, although the appropriateness of the style is to be debated, is this. There's a case, okay? Case is in beautiful condition. And there is the pipe. It's a little opera pipe, okay? Look at the coloring on this pipe. Isn't that pretty? And look at the pewter inlay. That's pewter. Some of it's missing, but by and large it's all there still. You see, it's an oval shaped bowl, so you can put in your vest pocket a little bit easier to take to the opera or theater show. So for intermissions, you can have a quick little smoke break. The shank is horn, and so is the stem. Once again, the orific style bit. And these spots here are where an insect of some sort or another decided to eat the stem. Interestingly enough to me, and possibly suggesting that nicotine's not the healthiest thing in the world, the bug, whatever it was, never ate through the airway. It left a very thin shell around the airway because the tobacco tar had soaked in and must not have tasted very good to it, so it left it alone. But so this is horn right here, so is the stem, and the stem, it has a bone tenon, just like the other pipe. There we go, almost there. There we go. So there's your bone, little bone screw tenon there, and the threads are cut into the horn shank. And I don't know honestly how this is cemented on, but it's fastened on somehow, probably with early glue of some sort, another plaster of Paris, something like that. Now, this is actually a pretty good little smoking pipe. I've always been impressed by how this one smokes. It smokes very nicely. It's in good shape. The chamber's in good shape. And like I say, I filled in those bug bites with super glue and horn dust. It did not match color-wise very well at all, but especially on the top. On the bottom it looks a little bit better, but on the top it sticks out like a sore thumb, but I at least filled in the damage. But the little cute little pipe smokes very well. This is size. Just a little tiny vest pocket pipe, very light too. Easy to chat with your friends, you know, stick your thumbs in your vest pocket. So that's my fourth and final Meerschaum pipe. I do have one other pressed Meerschaum pipe, but it is one that I have not yet restored. It needs a new stem made for it, and I have not yet gotten around to that. So I will have to do that one of these days, and then I'll make an addendum to this video. Talk too much and let my pipe go out. But anyway, that is, as far as this date goes, my Meerschaum pipe collection. I certainly intend to get some more on occasion in the future. It'll be a while, but I like how they smoke, and I like how they make the tobacco taste. That is, not taste like anything but the tobacco. But I'm very much enjoying this one, and I will be getting some more new ones in the future. Well, anyway folks, I've kept you on here long enough. I appreciate you all watching. As always, this is Pipeman 1861 saying goodbye, good luck. May the good Lord take a liking to you. I will see you all again very soon. And as always, happy smoking. Thank you folks. Bye now.